EastEnders delivers tense new twist in Kojo's storyline. Is he at risk? EastEnders has introduced another perilous development in Kojo Asare's ongoing drug plot. Fans are aware that Kojo's flat has been used by Ravi and Okie to run drug operations on behalf of Ravi. Kojo's safety has already been threatened. After last month, he ingested drugs provided by Okie, leaving him disoriented until his brother George discovered him in the square. Since then, George has grown increasingly wary of Ravi and his involvement with Okie, even though Kojo has tried to reassure him. In Monday's episode, George noticed Okie entering Kojo's flat and used a spare key to check inside. Although he found nothing suspicious, George remained uneasy and requested permanent access to his brother's flat. Later, Ravi informed Ravi about George's suspicions, prompting Ravi to make a chilling promise to handle George personally. On Tuesday, September 16th, Ravi and Okie asked Ravi whether George would be working that evening, implying they had plans to teach him a lesson. Meanwhile, George considered a recent offer from Phil to provide commentary on a boxing tour. Despite Gina's objections, Ravi encouraged George to take the opportunity. Ravi then warned Ravi that George had CTE, with doctors cautioning that a single hard punch could prove fatal. Ravi, however, shrugged off the warning, saying the plan was already in motion, and George would simply be taken off his feet for a while. Ravi called Kojo, asking him to meet George and persuade him to accept the boxing job. After speaking with Kojo, George arrived at the Arches and confirmed he would take the tour. As George left the square, Ravi and Ravi watched closely. Back at Kojo's flat, Ravi returned to find Ravi and Okie waiting, with Kojo in a state of panic. They told him he must transport drugs to Luton, rejecting Ravi's offer to do it himself. Okie reassured Ravi that as long as Kojo appeared to be working for them, he would remain under their protection, though he hinted Kojo might soon face real danger. Ravi tried to calm Kojo, insisting that he was doing the right thing by moving the drugs. Later, Ravi was drinking at the bar when Ravi arrived. Okie returned from the run without Kojo, explaining that police presence forced them to leave him behind. A panicked Ravi rushed out of the bar, leaving Ravi and Okie behind. The question remains, will Kojo make it back safely, or is greater danger looming at the hands of Okie and Ravi? EastEnders teases possible Zoe and Anthony reunion after shocking secret. Tonight's EastEnders revealed more twists as exes Anthony Truman and Zoe Slater met up for a chat in the square. Anthony approached Zoe to check on her after her argument with Vicky in last night's episode, but Zoe had a few questions for him as well. He returned to the square last month for his father Patrick's wedding to Yolande and has been lingering in the area ever since. Anthony was shocked to discover that Patrick had been mugged and attacked, later learning that Oscar Branning was responsible. Soon after, Zoe made a dramatic return herself, having been shot previously. Anthony had helped her survive until the ambulance arrived, and now that she's back, they've continued catching up, with Anthony revealing a major personal update tonight. Fans had assumed Anthony was still with his wife Sophie and their 2 children in Scotland since leaving Albert Square in 2003, but he dropped a bombshell. Zoe asked, "So what are you doing hanging around here? Don't your wife and kids want you back in Scotland?" Anthony, looking down, replied, "Not exactly. We're not together anymore. I decided to stay here for a while." Changing the subject, he added, "Good to see you back on your feet. That fire you have. The Zoe I knew would never have let anyone treat her the way Vicky did." The two shared a laugh, leaving many fans convinced a romance may reignite. Some speculated Anthony could even be the father of Zoe's twins, though Michelle Ryan recently dismissed those theories in an interview. Anthony first joined EastEnders in 2000, and during his time on the square, he had relationships with both Zoe and Kat Slater. He initially dated Kat, much to his mother Audrey's disapproval, before later becoming involved with Kat's daughter Zoe. The pair got engaged, but Zoe eventually left the square. She later discovered that Kat and Anthony had slept together on what was supposed to be her wedding day with Anthony. Now that both Anthony and Zoe are single and back on the square, fans are left wondering, could they rekindle their romance after all these years? EastEnders star Steve McFadden addresses Phil Mitchell exit rumours following NTA win. EastEnders legend Steve McFadden has finally spoken out about the exit rumours that had fans anxious over the future of his iconic character, Phil Mitchell. After 35 years of bringing the Wolford stalwart to life, Steve was recently awarded the National Television Award for Serial Drama Performance, a long overdue recognition of his remarkable contribution to British soap drama. The award night was an emotional occasion for Steve, who delivered a heartfelt speech on stage that left co-stars and the audience visibly moved. Many fans applauded, agreeing that Steve's decades of dedication had finally received the honour it deserved. The accolade came after one of Phil Mitchell's most challenging storylines to date, during which the character faced severe mental health struggles, including depression, psychosis, and suicidal thoughts. Steve's portrayal captured the raw intensity of these moments, earning critical acclaim and emotional reactions from viewers. During his acceptance speech, some fans mistakenly interpreted his reflective words as a hint that he might be leaving EastEnders. Speaking to the St Albans Times after the event, Steve addressed the rumours directly, explaining that he was simply caught up in the moment. "Because you're reflective, it makes you sound like you're leaving, but I'm not leaving anytime soon," he reassured. "It was genuine emotion, and there's nothing like having your friends and colleagues being kind to soften you up." He added that he fully intends to continue portraying Phil for many years to come. On the night of the NTAs, Steve delivered a powerful speech both on stage and during press interviews. He thanked the audience for their votes, praised his generous, brilliant co-stars, and reflected on the highs and lows of playing one of television's most enduring characters. Some fans, however, became concerned after his comment about 35 years of stupidity, fearing it suggested a farewell. Steve clarified it was meant humorously, reflecting the character's long and often chaotic life on the square. Phil Mitchell has been at the centre of some of EastEnders' most memorable and dramatic storylines. His infamous feuds with Brother Grant, the dramatic Who Shot Phil storyline, the time he set the Queen Vic on fire, and his ongoing battles with Ian Beale are just a few examples. Over the years, Phil's character has also navigated multiple marriages, secret children, and countless betrayals, cementing him as a central figure in Wolford drama. Recent storylines have continued to push Phil's character to the limit. He has battled alcoholism, struggled with his complicated feelings towards Sharon Watts following her affair with Keanu Taylor, mourned the loss of his mother Peggy Mitchell, portrayed by the late Dame Barbara Windsor, and has taken on a caring role for his lifelong friend Nigel Bates, who is facing the challenges of dementia. Steve's portrayal brings authenticity and depth to these storylines, allowing viewers to connect with Phil on both dramatic and emotional levels. Reflecting on the NTA win, Steve highlighted the significance of the award not just for himself, but for all actors who dedicate years to soap drama. This award is for every actor who's devoted decades to soap drama. It shows that hard work and consistency are noticed, and it's incredibly humbling, he said. Fans can take comfort knowing that Phil Mitchell isn't going anywhere. With Steve McFadden continuing in the role, audiences can expect more intense, gripping, and emotionally charged storylines in the years ahead. From the very first appearance in 1989 to today, Steve has ensured Phil Mitchell remains a cornerstone of EastEnders, consistently delivering performances that balance vulnerability, menace, and complexity. His continued presence guarantees that Wolford will remain as dramatic, unpredictable, and compelling as ever. EastEnders airs Mondays to Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.